Good day, students. I am Sir Flor, and this is Learn High School Mathematics with Sir Flor. Our topic for today is about angles and their intercepted arc. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, at the end of the lesson, you are expected to number one, you have to define central and inscribed angles. Number two, deductively derive the relation among chords, arcs, central angles, and inscribed angles. Three, solve problems involving central angles and inscribed angles. Let us define first a term that you will be used for some of the problems and of course the theorem that I will give you today. So the first term, which is known as the intercepted arc. When you say intercepted arc, this is defined as an arc formed when one or two different chords or line segments cut across a circle and meet at a common point called a vertex. So meaning to say that, let's say we have here line segment CO and line segment OB. One of their endpoints meet at one point which is located on the vertex. So let's say these two line segments form an angle, which is known as the angle COB. Now there is an arc that is found inside the angle, which is the arc CB. Okay? And arc CB is known as the intercepted arc. Why is it called as intercepted arc? Itong arc BC. Sabi ko nga, yung angle na nag-form dyan sa circle na yan, which is angle COB, okay, may angle dyan, and then meron po tayong arc na matatagpuan mismo sa loob ng angle. So, ang arc CB na yan, ang tawag po dyan ay intercepted arc. Let us have first the central angle intercepted arc postulate. So, what do you mean first by central angle? So, when you say central angle, this is an angle whose vertex found at the center of the circle. So, yung central angle central angle is an angle whose vertex, which is yung vertex O dyan, is found at the center of the circle. Okay? So, yung angle COB na yan, ang tawag po dyan ay central angle. Okay? Ngayon, balik tayo doon sa central angle intercepted arc postulate. What does this postulate says? So this says that the measure of a central angle of a circle is equal to the measure of the intercepted arc. Meaning to say that angle COB is actually equal to the measure of CB. And this one has a equation. Ito po ay nakadepende pa rin po kung paano ang naming pagdating po sa mismong given. So, paano po ang equation nito? The equation here is the measure of the arc BC is equal to the measure of the given angle COB. Meaning to say that when you have this given measure of this central angle, like for example, this is 52 degrees, therefore your arc BC here is 52 degrees also. Okay? Another example, if you have here, let's say 44 degrees, so I will choose the color purple. So if you have here 44 degrees on this central angle, therefore, your intercepted arc is also 44 degrees. I hope that you get this. Let us have first some of the examples for this. But this time, I'll give you a short algebra. Let's say this first example. If measure of angle COB is 124 degrees, and the measure of angle of the arc BC is x plus 12, find the value of x. So here in this example, you are finding for the value of x, not for finding the value of any intercepted arc or the central angle, but the value of x. Remember, whenever you find the value of x, no need to put a degree sign. Okay? So let's say angle COB. So where is angle COB? Angle COB is somewhere here. So let us label as 124 degrees. Okay? And the measure of arc BC, which is this is the intercepted arc BC, which is known, or the minor arc. Okay? Minor arc BC is x plus 12. How will you find the value of x? So remember the theorem, the central angle intercepted arc theorem, postulate. It says that the measure of the central angle is is also equal to the measure of the intercepted arc. So this means that we need to write this in this manner. So the measure of arc BC, okay, is actually equal to the measure of the angle COB. Now, what is the measure of BC? The measure of BC is x plus 12. So you have to replace this by x plus 12 and equals measure of COB, which is 124. And then what we're going to do is to find out the value of x simply by transpose 12 to the other side. So this will become x is equal to 124 minus 12. And 124 minus 12, so that the value of x here is, this is 2, this is 112. So the value of x here is 112. I hope that you get it. Let us have the next one. Let's say another example with regarding this one. Okay, if the measure of angle COB is 7x minus 11 and the measure of arc BC, or the minor arc BC, is 157 degrees, what is the value of x? Remember, we are finding for the value of x, not the minor arc, not the angle itself, but the value of x. So how will you find for the value of x? So the first thing that you need to do, students, is you have to label it first. So where is this the angle COB here? So angle COB should be found somewhere here. So this is angle COB. And label this as 7x minus 11. And the measure of the arc BC, or the minor arc BC, just like this one. And you have to label this as 157 degrees. So to find out the value of x, remember again, you have to know the postulate, which is the central angle intercepted arc postulate. It says there that the measure of the angle is also equal to the measure of the intercepted arc. Now, before we continue this, kindly do this on your own. So can you pause this video, and whenever you're finished, please resume this video. Done already? Let's reveal your answer. So again, according to the postulate, we have here measure of arc BC is actually equal to the measure of angle COB. Measure of BC is 157 degrees is equal to the measure of angle COB, which is 7x minus 11. And 100, and then you have to transpose negative 11 to the other side. So this will become 157 is equal to, no, no, no. 157 plus 11 is equal to 7x. And 157 plus 11 is equal to, this is 168 is equal to 7x. And if you divide this both sides by 7, so therefore your value of x here is uh, 14. We have um, 24. So the value of x here now is 24. Did you get the same answer? If you get the same answer, then you are a very intelligent person. I hope that you understand this part. Next example. What about this example? If measure of angle COB is 10x plus 2 and measure of arc BC is 8x plus 16, find the measure of arc BC. So you're finding for the measure of arc BC. Pause this video to try on your own. And if you're done, please resume this video. Done already? Okay, let us have this one. Remember angle COB here. This is 10x plus 2 and the intercepted arc or minor arc BC, which is 8x plus 16. Now remember, this is the central arc central angle intercepted arc theorem. So this is measure of arc BC is equal to the measure of the angle COB. This time you have to solve first for the value of x before you find the measure of arc BC. So this will become measure of BC is 8x plus 16 is equal to, we have here 10x plus 2. Okay, so then you have to what do you call this, transpose. We have here 8x minus 10x is equal to 2 minus 16. Negative 8x minus 10x is 2x, or negative 2x is equal to 2 minus 16, which is negative 14. Then divide both sides by negative 2. So therefore, the value of x here is 7. So the question here is, are we done? Not yet, because we're finding for the measure of arc BC. So the measure of arc BC here, measure of arc BC is actually equal again to 8x plus 16. Now, to find out the measure of arc BC, what we are going to do here is you have to substitute the value of x, okay, which is the 7, to this equation, or to the measure of arc BC. So this will become measure of arc BC is actually 8 times 7 plus 16. Okay? 8 times 7, uh, 56. Okay? 56 plus 16. So therefore, the measure of arc BC is actually equal to, if you guess this one, 72 degrees, then you are correct. Remember, if the problem asks you to find the measure of arc BC or measure of that angle, you have your final answer in degree sign. But if the problem asks you to find the value of x, then no need to put the degree sign. I hope that you get this one. There is another postulate that we need to know, which is the arc addition postulate. What do you mean by arc addition postulate? The measure of an arc formed by two adjacent arcs is the sum of the measures of two arcs. So what do you mean by adjacent arcs? Okay. So the measure of this one, of these two arcs, we have AC and CB, is the sum of the sum of AC and CB is equal to the minor arc AB. When you say adjacent arcs, these are arcs with exactly one point in common. Meaning to say that if you have AC, okay, so I will put this again in red or in blue, or red na lang, no? So AC, we have here arc AC and the other one here is arc CB. Now we have one one point in common. Okay? The one point here in common to this given two minor arcs is point C. And we can say that these two arcs are known as adjacent arcs. I hope that you get this one. Let us know first what you mean by subtended code. When you say subtended code, this is a line segment that connects 2 points on the given arc of a circle. So let us say there is a circle on your right, which is circle O. Okay. And then we have here point C and point B. And point C and point B, these are the point on the circle. And CB is an arc. Okay, CB is an arc. Now, not only CB is your arc, but we can connect also CB on a we can connect CB through a straight line. Okay, through a straight line like this. So that we can say that CB is the subtended chord, meaning to say that these 2 points on the given arc, which is arc CB, connect a line segment, connect these 2 points or 2 points on a straight line or connected by a line segment. So therefore, CB is now a subtended chord. Let us have verse theorem number 5. In a circle or congruent circles, if two minor arcs are congruent, then the chords subtended by the arcs are congruent. So let us say we have here 3 points on the circle and we have here two arcs, two minor arcs. We have here B arc or arc BC and minor arc AB. Okay? And the chord subtended to it, which is line segment chord CB or line segment CB and chord BA. Okay? If these two minor arcs are congruent, let's say minor arc BC and minor arc AC are equal in measure. Therefore, the chord subtended to that one, which is CB and BA, are also congruent. This proves when we have here radii of the circle. And we can say that these two are congruent by the use of the triangle congruence and subparts of the parts of the triangle that are also congruent. Okay, so theorem number 6, there are some parts that we need to interchange. Okay, so in theorem number 6, in a circle or congruent circles, a while ago, if these two minor arcs are congruent, then the chords subtended to it are also congruent. Now, in theorem number 6, if two chords are congruent, meaning chord CB and chord BA, then the minor arcs subtended to it, that means arc CB and arc BA, are also congruent to each other. Parang baliktaran lang ang 5 and 6. Okay? So, same lang naman yon. Let us have first an example. In circle O, um, arc or minor arc BC is congruent to arc AB. If BC is 3x plus 8 and AB is 5x minus 2, what is the length of each chord? So remember on this given problem, there is a given that arc BC is congruent to arc AB. So therefore, these two are also congruent. If these two chords are congruent, then chord subtended to this one, which is these two, are also congruent. Okay? So therefore, we can solve this for the length of the chord, meaning we have here BC is equal to AB because they are congruent. If they are congruent, therefore they are equal to each other. So the measure of BC here is 3x plus 8 equals 5x minus 2. Okay? And then, by the use of transposition, we have here 3x minus 5x is equal to negative 2 minus 8. And 3x minus 5x is negative 2x, which is equal to negative 2 minus 8 is negative 10. Then divide both sides by negative 2 so that we can find out the value of x, which is 5. Okay? Is this your final answer? If not, then you are correct. Because what is being asked on the problem? The length of each chord. It's either BC or AB. Now you have to choose one of the chord that is comfortable for you to solve. So if I were you, I will use the BC there. So therefore, we have here BC is equal to 3x my that is plus 8. And then we have here, you have to replace the value of x to this equation. We have here BC is equal to 3 times 5 plus 8. Okay, so BC here is 15 plus 8 and BC is 23. So one of the chord here is 23. Also, AB is also 23 because they are also congruent to each other. Did you get it? Let's have let us move first to our next one. Here's another example. In circle O, arc AB is congruent to arc CD. If AB is 8x minus 7 and CD is 3x minus 8, what is the length of each chord? Pause this video to solve first or to try it on your own, and when you're ready, please play or resume this video again. Done already? Okay, let us have this one. So remember that the arc AB is congruent to arc CD, meaning when these two arcs are congruent, then the chord subtended to it are also congruent. So these two are also congruent. So meaning to say we have here AB is equal to CD. Then we have here AB, which is 8x minus 7 is equal to 3x plus 8. Then if you try to move this one, so therefore 8x minus 3x, this is 5x, or 8x minus 3x is equal to 8 plus 7. So negative 8x minus 3x is 5x is equal to 8 plus 7 is 15. Divide both sides by 5, so therefore what is x? X is 3. This is not yet final because we are finding for the length of each chord. So if you choose CD, then you can do it. Okay? But if you want AB, then it's okay. Okay? Wala naman po masama. Minsan pinapahirapan po natin yung sarili natin. Kung meron tayong nakalagay dyan na 8x, pwede naman pong gamitin yung 3x. So therefore, you can use 3 times 3 plus 8. Okay? So 3 times 3 is 9 plus 8. Therefore, CD here is 17. I hope that you get it. Let's move on to theorem number 7. In theorem number 7, in a circle or congruent circles, if two central angles are congruent, then their corresponding minor arcs are congruent also. Okay? So if two central angles, meaning to say this is the central angles here, if they are congruent to each other, then their corresponding minor arcs also, which is this one, are also congruent. Okay? Again, if two central angles are congruent or they are equal to each other, therefore, the measure of their intercepted arcs are also congruent. Theorem number 8, parang binaligtad lang po itong theorem number 7. In a circle or congruent circles, if these two minor arcs, just like this one, are congruent to each other, therefore, their central angles here are also congruent to each other. Okay? So, tandaan nyo lang paragi itong theorem na to. Let's have the next one. Let's have first an example. So we have here a given, we have here arc AC is congruent to arc BD. Now, if measure of angle COA is 3x minus 1 and the measure of angle BOD is 6x minus 34, find the measure of angle BOD. So how will you find this? Here, this is very easy. Okay? Since AC is congruent to BD, therefore, angle COA is also congruent to angle BOD. Now, for this example, we can say that the measure of angle COA is actually equal to measure of angle BOD. Okay? Now, what is the measure of COA here? We have here 3x minus 1 equals BOD, we have here 6x minus 34. Then uh, you have to transpose. We have here 3x minus 6x is equal to negative 34 minus 1. And 3x minus 6x is equal to negative 3x is equal to negative 33. Then divide both sides by negative 3 such that x now is 11. Is this our final answer? No, because we're finding for the measure of BOD. So our measure of BOD here is 6x minus 34. So measure of angle BOD is actually 6x minus 34. Then you have to find for the value of that measure by substituting the value of x here to this expression. We have here 6 times 11 minus 34. And 6 times 11 here is 66 minus 34. And the measure of angle BOD is actually equal to 6 minus 4 is 2. Uh, 6 minus 3 here is 3. So therefore, 32 degrees. Did you get this? If you get it, then let's have our next example. Given arc AC is congruent to arc BD again. If the measure of arc AC is 2x plus 37 and the measure of arc BD is 4x plus 7, find the measure of angle BOD. Pause this video to try this on your own. And when you're ready, pause this video. Here's the tip. Use any postulate or theorem that connects to this example. Having a hard time with that? Or are you done already? If you're done, let's find out what's your final answer. So here's the solution. Since the measure of AC is 2x plus 37 and the measure of BD is 4x plus 7, so take a look on this one. We have here BD, AC is congruent to BD. So if they are congruent to each other, then we can write this as where is my, okay, this is measure of arc AC is equal to the measure of arc BD. Okay, so measure of arc AC here is 2x plus 37 is equal to the measure of arc BD, which is 4x plus 7. Then you have to use the transposition. We have here 2x minus 4x is equal to 7 minus 37. And we have here 2x minus 4x is negative 2x, and 7 minus 37, which is negative 30. Then divide both sides by negative 2. Therefore, what is the value of x? The value of x here is 15. Are we done? Not yet, because we are finding for the measure of BOD. But the problem here is, in this given example, you don't have any measure of BOD. Okay? But there is one theorem or postulate that we need to apply on this given. If you know the postulate, which is the central angle intercepted arc postulate, it says here that the measure of the central angle is also equal to the measure of the intercepted arc. Meaning to say that in this problem, we are asked you to find the measure of BOD. So this is the angle, but what is its intercepted arc? The intercepted arc of this angle BOD here is known as is the arc BD. Okay? So meaning to say, we have to find out the measure of BD before we go over to the measure of angle BOD. So let's try to find the arc BD. So therefore, measure of arc BD is actually equal to 4 times 15 plus 7. Okay? Then the measure of arc BD, which is for 15 times 4 is 60 plus 7, so that the measure of arc BD is now 67 degrees. But is this our final answer? Not yet, because we are finding for the measure using that postulate, meaning the measure of the angle BOD is now 67 degrees. So we arrive at the point wherein this problem asks you to find the value of angle BOD. Did you get it? Okay, let's have the next one. Let's have theorem number 9. In theorem number 9 states that in a circle or congruent circles, if two chords, meaning BD and AC, this one. So where is my mouse pointer? Okay, if two chords are congruent, this one, AC and BD, then the corresponding central angles are also congruent. So they are also congruent to each other. Okay? Again, if these two chords are congruent, therefore their central angles of this given are congruent to each other. Let us have first an example. Let's say this one. Two central angles, we have here angle COA and angle DOB, are also congruent. If AC is 8x plus 19 and BD is 4x minus 53, find AC. So to find out this one, according to theorem number 9, it states that if two central angles are congruent, parang biniligtad lang yan, if two central angles are congruent, therefore, there also, their chords are congruent. So meaning to say that we have here the solution. AC is congruent to or is equal to BD. And what is AC here? AC here is 8x minus 19 or plus 19 is equal to 14x minus 53. Now, you have to transpose, meaning 8x minus 14x is equal to negative 53 minus 19. 8x minus 14x here is what? 6x, or negative 6x is equal to negative 53 minus 19 here is 12. We have here 5, 6, 1, 72, negative 72. Then divide both sides by negative 6. Okay. So that the value of x here is 1, 2, or 12. Is this your final answer? I don't think so. Because we are finding for the value of AC only. So to find out the value of AC, you have to replace the value of x here on this expression. We have here AC is equal to 8x plus 19. This one, AC here is equal to 8 times 12 plus 19. Okay? Now, 8 times 12. 8 times 12 is 16. 96 plus 19, I think. Can you correct it na lang po, no? So, AC, and 96 plus 19, this is 105. So, the value of AC here is 105. So, pag medyo mabilis, pwede naman ninyong balikan ulit yung part na yon para mas malalo maintindihan ninyo. Let's have the next one. Okay, let us have first the second part of this discussion is known as the inscribed angle. Okay, I'll show you the three figures here below. Pause this video to think which of the following is considered as inscribed angle. When you're ready, please resume this video. Done already? If you send the first figure, which is your inscribed angle, then you are correct. What is the inscribed angle? When you say inscribed angle, this is an angle which the vertex is on the circle and which sides contains chords of the circle. So as you can see on the first figure, these two line segments there, which is the first one on top and the second one on the bottom, are known as the chord. And remember that the vertex of this is on the circle. Why this second one cannot be considered as inscribed angle? Take a look on the vertex itself. Did you see the vertex which is on the circle? No. It's a very big no, 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 because the vertex is found outside, not on the circle. Remember the preposition on and the outside. But why this third one cannot be considered as inscribed angle? You can see there that one side is chord or diameter, but the other line segment there cannot be considered as you cannot consider it here as chord nor the diameter, meaning one of the endpoints there is found again outside the circle. So those 3 points here should be on the circle, not outside the circle. Okay? So please take a look on this inscribed angle on the first figure. I hope that you get this explanation about inscribed angle. Let's have here theorem number 10. We have here the inscribed angle theorem. What does this theorem says? The measure of an inscribed angle is one half the measure of the intercepted arc. Meaning to say that the measure of angle BCA there, or that given angle, is equal to the half of AB, or minor arc AB. So ibig sabihin, yung measure ng angle ay kalahati po ng given arc. We have here the formula depending on the given. We have here the measure of the angle BCA is equal to one half the measure of AB. So let us have first example problems. Number one, if measure of arc AB is 74 degrees, what is the measure of of the angle BCA? So for this kind of problem, let's say the measure of arc AB here, this one, So the arc AB here is 74. So this is 74 degrees. Therefore, to find out the measure of arc or the angle BCA, remember there is a theorem which is the inscribed angle theorem, meaning to say that the measure of angle or the measure of angle BCA is actually equal to the half of measure of arc AB. Okay? Meaning to say, kalahati po ng given arc. So this means if you have given a half of measure of AB, therefore half of 74 here is 37 degrees. So remember that the measure of BCA here is 37 degrees. So I will rewrite it again. 37 degrees. Okay? This one. Okay? Next, if measure of AB is 56 degrees, what is the measure of BCA? Think about it. If your answer is 20 or let's say 28 degrees, then you are correct. So the measure of angle BCA is 28 degrees, meaning half of 56 here is 28 degrees. So let us have first another example problem. If the measure of the angle ACB is 47 degrees, what is the measure of the arc AB? Pause this video, and when you're ready, kindly resume this video. Done already? Okay, remember the inscribed angle theorem. It states that the measure of the angle is equal to the half of measure of AB. And it seems that nagkabaliktad ngayon ang given. Kung kanina po one half of the arc, therefore, on this given problem, you have to multiply it by 2. Remember, if the given is an angle, uh, this angle is an inscribed angle, then to find out the measure of the intercepted arc, you must multiply this by 2. Or you have to multiply this by 2. So therefore, 47 times 2 here is the measure of AB. And the measure of arc AB here is 94 degrees. Okay? So you have to multiply it. Next problem. On your own, measure of angle ACB is 68 degrees. What is the measure of arc AB? Okay, you have to multiply this by 2 again. Okay, because we are given, the given angle here is an inscribed angle. Okay, and we're asked you to find the intercepted arc. So therefore, 68 times 2 here is the measure of arc AB. So the measure of arc AB here is, which is 16, um, 136 degrees. So the measure of arc AB is 136 degrees. Did you get it? I hope that you get it. Another example problem will be this one. If measure of arc AB is 7x plus 38 degrees and the measure of angle BCA is equal to 12x plus 2 degrees, find the measure of AB. So regarding this problem, since we are dealing with the algebra, so how do we find this? Remember in the formula, or remember the formula under the inscribed angle theorem, we have here the given angle. We have here measure of angle BCA is actually equal to half of the measure of AB or the arc AB. Now, you have to replace the value of measure of angle BCA and the measure of arc AB. So you can write this as follows. We have here 12x plus 2 is actually equal to 1/2 times measure of arc AB, which is 7x plus 38. Okay? And then since there is a half there, so what will you do? So to find out the value or to remove the 1/2 there, what will you do? Anong gagawin natin para matanggal yung 1/2 dyan? You have to multiply both sides or both sides. O, both sides ha, ibig sabihin left and right sides by 2. So, anong gagawin natin? You have to distribute this one and distribute this one. So, therefore, 12x times 2, which is 24x, plus 2 times 2 is 4. And since meron ka ng times 2 dito sa right side and may 1/2 dito, so we have to eliminate na lang. And you have to rewrite this as 7x plus 38. Okay? So therefore, 24x minus 7x is equal to, or transpose, we have here 38 minus 4. Okay, 38 minus 4 is 34, and 24x minus 7x is 17x. Then divide both sides by 17. So therefore, what is the value of x? X is 2. Is this your final answer? No, because we are finding for the measure of arc AB. So to find out the measure of arc AB, we have here arc AB, or the measure of arc AB is actually equal to 7x plus 38. And 7, and then we have to replace the value of x here on this one. We have here 7 times 2 plus 38. So 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 38. So if you add 14 and 38, this will become the measure of arc AB, which is equal to or equivalent to 52 degrees. So here is your final answer. Pag medyo naguluhan pa, balikan mo lang ang part na yon. And if you have any questions, you can leave your questions on the comments below. And I will answer to your questions. Next example. Given the measure of arc AB is 20x plus 26 and the measure of angle BCA is 12x plus 3, find out the measure of angle BCA. Pause this video, and if you're ready to reveal your answer or reveal the answer here, please resume this video. Done already? Let's see if you can get this correct. So again, the measure of angle BCA is actually equal to half of the measure of AB. Okay? So therefore, what is the measure of angle BCA? We have here 12x plus 3 is equal to 1/2 of the arc, which is 20x plus 26. Then you have to multiply by 2, both sides of the equation. Okay? Remember that whenever there is a 1/2 there, always remember to multiply both sides by 2. So this one will be discussed also by the other parts of the topic. Okay? Regarding the circles, tangents, and secants. Okay? So we have here 12x times 2, and we have here 2 times 3. This is 12 times 2, 12x times 2 is 24x plus 2 times 3 is 6 equals 20x plus 26. Then transpose, we have 24x minus 20x is actually equal to 26 minus 6. And 24x minus 20x is 4x. 26 minus 6 is 20. Divide both sides by 4. So therefore, x here is 5. we're not done because we're finding for the measure of the angle BCA. To find out the measure of the angle BCA, this will become what? So, so the measure of arc BCA is actually equal to 12 times 5 plus 3. Okay? And this will become measure of angle BCA is equal to 60 plus 3. Tama ba? 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. Tama. 60 plus 3. So therefore, measure of angle BCA is actually equal to 63 degrees. Is your answer the same as this one? If yes, then you are also an intelligent person. I hope that you get this one. Let's have this another example problem. If measure of angle COA is 68 degrees, find the measure of angle CBA. Pause this video to answer this one for you first, and whenever you're ready, please resume this video. Here's the tip. Please go back or tell some of the theorems first to note or to find the measure of angle BCA. Done already? Let us answer. Okay, let's say this is measure of COA. So the angle COA here is 68 degrees. How will you find this? That's a question. So there is one theorem, or there are two theorems, which is not two theorem, I mean one postulate and one theorem that we need to apply on this problem. The first one here is the what? The central angle intercepted arc postulate. Meaning to say, if this is 68 degrees, what could be the measure of this intercepted arc? If it's at 68, then this is correct. Okay? So, remember, measure of angle COA is actually equal to the measure of arc AC. Meaning, if this is 68 degrees, therefore, the measure of arc AC is actually equal to 68 degrees. Now, how will you find the measure of angle BCA? Since we are having here the measure of AC, which is 68 degrees, so I need to get the half of 68 degrees. Meaning to say that the measure of angle BCA, sorry. So, let us remove na lang, no? And we will replace it with angle BC A is actually equal to the half of 68 here is 34 degrees. So here is your final answer. So you have to use one postulate and one theorem based from this one, which is the central angle intercepted arc theorem, postulate, and of course the inscribed angle theorem. Let's have the next example. If the measure of angle COA is 5x plus 3 and the measure of angle CBA is 3x minus 6 degrees. Find the measure of angle CBA. Pause this video again. And when you're ready, uh, please resume this video. This is the same as the previous example. Okay? So you have to apply a postulate and a theorem based from this one. Done already? Let us have the next. Let us have this one. So remember this. The first one, COA, as you can see here, is 5x plus 3. Okay? And this one is 3x minus 6. Okay? Degrees. So, to find out the intercepted arc AC, if you apply again the central angle intercepted arc postulate, if this is your 5x plus 3, therefore your intercepted arc also must be 5x plus 3. Okay? Then by using the not intercepted, the inscribed angle theorem, this will become the arc, what do you guess? Measure of the angle CBA is actually equal to the half of the measure of AC. Okay? So therefore, measure of angle CBA here is 3x minus 6 is equal to 1 half of 5x plus 3. Now, since there is 1 half here, so you have to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, so that we will remove the 1 half here. And this one, we have to distribute. We have 6x minus 12 equals 5x plus 3. Then, by transposition, we have here 6x minus 5x is equal to 3 plus 12. Okay? And then 6x minus 5x is x. 3 plus 12 is 5. 15, I mean. So is this your final answer? Not. This is not your final answer. How will you do this? How will you find the measure of angle CBA? Of course, you have to replace the value of x to this expression. So we have here measure of our angle CBA. Wait a moment. So we have the measure of the angle CBA is equal to 3 times 15 minus 6. Okay? So 3 times 15 here is 45 minus 6. And the measure of angle CBA here is 39 degrees. So here is your final answer. I hope that you get this. Let's have the next theorem, which is theorem number 11. This theorem 11 known as the semicircle theorem. So an inscribed angle that intercepts a semicircle is a right angle. So this is a self-explanatory. This means in this theorem, an inscribed angle or our given intercepted arc is a semicircle. Remember, in the definition of the semicircle, on the previous video, it states there that the semicircle is an arc whose measure exactly 180 degrees. Okay? And since this angle is inscribed on a semicircle, so therefore, if we get the half of a semicircle, meaning half of 180 degrees, is a right angle or 90 degrees. I hope that you get the semicircle theorem. What do you mean by subtended angle? A subtended angle is an angle whose two rays pass through the endpoints of the line segments, chord, arc, or an object. So let's say this is a point, and this is a line segment. So from that point on the left, we have to connect that point to the one of the endpoint of the line segment, and we have to connect also a point on the left to uh, the one another endpoint of the line segment, so that we can create an angle which is angle BAC. So remember that the angle ABC is known as the subtended angle. I hope that you get it. Let's have theorem number 12. Two or more angles subtended by the same arc are congruent. So meaning to say that for this theorem, let's have first a first pair of uh, what do you call this? Inscribed angle. So the first inscribed angle, which is DAC, and the pair of this one is angle DBC here. And these two shares a common arc or common intercepted arc. The common intercepted arc here is known as arc DC. Okay? Because the intercepted arc in the angle DAC is arc DC, and the intercepted arc under the angle DBC is also arc DC. So they share the common arc, which is arc DC. Another one here is arc ADB, which is this one, and the other one here is ACD, this one. And they shared a common arc or a common intercepted arc, which is AB, this one. Because remember that the intercepted arc on the angle ADB is arc AB, or the intercepted arc or the minor arc AB, and the intercepted arc under angle ACB here is arc AB, this one only. Okay? So I hope that you understand the theorem number 12. So meaning to say that once these two angles shared a common arc, therefore these two inscribed angles are congruent to each other. I hope that you get this part. Let's have an example problem. Let's say if measure of angle DAC is 7x plus 4 and the measure of angle DBC is 9x minus 14. How will you find the measure of arc DC? So let us have this one. So how will you find this? Let's say measure of arc DAC, which is 7x plus 4, and this one DAC, this one, and we have DBC, which is 9x plus 9x minus 14. Remember, they shared a common arc, which is DC, this one. Okay? So remember, if they share the common arc, therefore, these two inscribed angles are congruent to each other. So therefore, measure of angle DAC is actually equal to the measure of angle DBC. Okay? And then we have here, measure of the AC here is what? Measure of the AC is 7x plus 4 is equal to the measure of DBC is 9x minus 14. So by using transposition, this is 7x minus 9x is equal to negative 14 minus 4. Okay? And then 7x minus 9x is negative 2x, which is equal to negative 14 minus 4, which is negative 18. Then divide both sides by negative 2. So therefore, what is x? X here is 9. Are we done with this one? Not yet, because we are finding for the measure of arc DC. But there is the problem. How do we find the measure of arc DC? Since there is no given there. So if there's no given, then here's the tip. To find out the measure of arc DC, choose one of the angles. Okay? Because they are the same also. So it's either angle DAC or angle DBC. If I were you, I will choose the easiest way, which is the measure of angle DAC, which is actually equal to 7 times, we have here 9 plus 4. Okay, this is plus 4. Don't forget. Then this one, measure of angle DHC is equal to 7 times 9 is 36. No, 63. Sorry for that. Not 36, but 63. 63 plus 4. And 63 plus 4 is measure of arc DAC is actually equal to 67 degrees. But we are finding for DC. Since we have here already an angle which is DAC. So how will you find the measure of DC? Again, if you have a given inscribed angle and you are finding for the measure of arc DC, you always get you have to multiply always by 2. So therefore, what is the measure of arc DC? So you have to multiply this by 2. So therefore, 14, 134 degrees. So this is your final answer. I hope that you get this. Example problem. If measure of angle DAC is 5x plus 4 and the measure of arc DC is 11x minus 3 degrees, how will you find the measure of angle DBC? Pause this video, and when you're ready, please resume this video. Done already? Let's have this part. So let's have here measure of our let's have this measure of angle DAC, this one, and measure of arc DC is 11x minus 3. So this is 5x plus 4, and this one here is 11x minus 3. But I am finding for this one. So you cannot find this one without finding the values of x, finding the value of DAC, okay? And remember that angle DAC is actually equal to the angle DBC because they shared a common intercepted arc. So if they share the common intercepted arc, therefore they are also equal. So therefore, you have to use first, number one, the inscribed angle theorem. So in inscribed angle theorem, we have here measure of angle DAC is actually equal to 1/2 of measure of DC. Okay? So therefore, DAC here is 5x plus 4 equals 1/2 of measure of DC, which is 11x minus 3. Then multiply both sides by 2. Okay? Multiply this by 2. So this will become 10x plus 8 is equal to 11x minus 3. Then simply simply transpose. We have here 10x minus 11x is equal to uh, negative 3 minus 8. And negative x here is equal to negative 11. Since bawal po ang negative doon sa x, so that you have to change the sign or multiply both sides by negative 1. Such way that x here is 11. So are we done? Not yet, because we're finding for the value of DAC. Okay? So para mahanap po natin yung angle DBC. Okay? So let us have measure of angle DAC is equal to 5 times 11 plus 4. And measure of angle DAC is 55 plus 4, which is known measure of angle DAC is equal to 55 plus 4 is 59 degrees. Okay? Since measure of angle DAC is 59 degrees, also the measure of angle DBC is also 59 degrees. So because they are congruent to each other. Did you get it? Let's have the last theorem. Our last theorem for theorem number 13, we have here this one. If a quadrilateral is inscribed in a circle, then its opposite angles are supplementary. Meaning to say, in this theorem, it states that in this, if this quadrilateral found inside the circle, then their opposite angles, which is this one and this one, is supplementary. And of course, this one and this one are also supplementary to each other. When you say supplementary angles, again, these are two angles add up to 180 degrees. So remember that part. Here are the example problems. If measure of angle CAD is 120 degrees, what is the measure of angle CBD? So to find out the measure of CBD, of course, you have to, let's have this one, CAD, this one, which is 120 degrees. And how will you find CBD? This one. So to find out, since this is inscribed quadrilateral, and both of this given is an opposite angles. So if they are opposite, therefore, you have to subtract it from 180 degrees. So 180 minus 123, okay, 180 minus 123, this is 57 degrees. Next example. If measure of angle ACB is 78 degrees, what is the measure of angle ADB? How will you find this? Remember ACB, I will change it to color blue again. So this one, this is 78 degrees. How will you find the measure of ADB? So to find out the measure of angle ADB, you have to subtract from 180 degrees. It's because this pair of opposite angles on an inscribed quadrilateral are supplementary. So therefore, this one is equal to 180 minus 78 is 102 degrees. I hope that you get this. So, umabot na po tayo sa isang oras, so tiyagaan nyo lang po ito. Let's have another set of example problems. So, let's say measure of CAD is 8x plus 17 and the measure of angle CBD is 5x plus 2 degrees. How will you find out, or what is the measure of angle CBD? So, to find out the measure of angle CBD, so what you are going to do here, let's say angle CAD, and this is 8x minus 17, and angle CBD, which is 5x plus 2. So in order to find out the measure of angle CBD, since as you can see here, this is an inscribed quadrilateral with this given two opposite angles. And remember on this theorem, it says that these two opposite angles of an inscribed quadrilateral are congruent, are supplementary, meaning these two angles add up to 180 degrees. So this will become what? Measure of angle CAD plus measure of angle CBD is actually equal to 180 degrees. Then the measure of CAD here is 8x plus 17. No, minus, I mean. Sorry for that. Minus 17 is plus measure of CBD, or measure of angle CBD, we have here 5x plus 2 is actually equal to 180 degrees. So therefore, 8x plus 5x, which is 13x, negative 17 plus 2, which is negative 15, is equal to 180 degrees. So therefore, 180 plus 15, if you transpose here, which is 13x, is equal to 195. And divide both sides by 13. So therefore, what is the value of x? X here is, wait, pata-cancel ko yung 13. Doon sa isa, mali pala. So the value of x here is divided by 13. This is 15. Okay? So we're not done yet because we are finding for the measure of angle CBD. So to find out the measure of angle CBD, angle CBD, I mean, which is this one. Measure of angle CBD is equal to 5 times 15 plus 2. Okay? So therefore, we have here 5 times 15. We have here 5 times 15. This is 75 plus 2. So measure of angle CBD is equal to 75 plus 2, which is known as the measure of angle CBD, which is 77 degrees. So this is your final answer. Oh, iyan ko ulit ha. Linawin ko lang ulit to make it clear to you. Yan. Linawin ko lang yung sulat. I hope that you get this. Last example. If measure ACB is 2x plus 9 and measure of ADB is 5x minus 4, find the measure of angle ACB. So before I reveal the final answer, you have to pause this video, and whenever you're ready, can you resume this video? Done already? Let's have this part. Since ACB here, this one is 2x plus 9 and the other one here is 5x minus 4. Okay? So these two opposite angles are supplementary to each other. So therefore, the measure of angle ACB plus measure of angle ABD is equal to 180 degrees. So therefore, the measure of angle ACB here is 2x plus 9 plus the measure of angle ADB, which is 5x minus 4, is equal to 180. And this one, 2x plus 5x is equal to 7x plus 9 minus 4 is 5 is equal to 180. And 180 minus 5 here is equal to 175. Then 175 divided by 7, which is equal to x is 25. We're not done because we are finding for the measure of angle ACB. ACB. So therefore, measure of angle ACB is actually equal to 2 times 25 plus 9. So therefore, 2 times 25 is 50 plus 9. Therefore, the measure of angle ACB is actually equal to 59 degrees. I hope that you get this part. Now, if you have any questions, you can drop your questions on the comment section and I will answer to your questions. And if there is a part there that which is unclear to you, pwede nyo pong balik-balikan yung part na yon para maintindihan ninyo. Seek help from your friends or your teachers for this part. Okay? And I would like to thank you for listening and for watching this video. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Sir Flor, and this is Learn High School Mathematics with Sir Flor. Have a nice day, everyone, and God bless you all.